Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. What are you doing? Idiot. Welcome back to the North American Star Team League. Over here is my co-caster for today, and only today, Duran Parsi.
I was trying to harmonize with you, man.
Yeah, okay. But we have a clan war with Mouseports and Rox.Kis. And right now, Mousesports is up 1-0. Rox.Kis, as we said before, they've been playing really, really strong. Came from the qualifying tournament for the NASTL and are here now in the second day of the NASTL. The game is ready. Let's go ahead and go into ThorZaIN versus Slivko now. So the map is going to be Odyssey.
Yes, it is.
What are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are as follows. Slivko is a really, really impressive player. He displayed some pretty phenomenal ZVT, actually, last weekend in the Clan War against Team Light. He beat both Kawaii Rice and Binsky, and especially the Clan War, the match against Kawaii Rice was really, really impressive. Slivko has this really strange, super, super fast Broodlord timing that I think catches most Terran players really, really off guard. I mean, he basically, in the games against Kawaii Rice and Binsky, what he did was he went for a really quick third, and then he pretty much teched straight into Broodlords. He even didn't even get Banelings at all. Pretty much he only had Zerglings, Mutalisks, and then straight to Broodlords. And I think that really catches Terran players off guard.
It did go, well, see, he has two variations. He goes to Mutas sometimes, and then he goes just straight up Roaches to Infestors. But I know he relies on Infestors sometimes. He likes double upgrades, things like that. But yeah, I'm really, really impressed with Slivko's play. But ThorZaIN, this is the guy who I have to say has probably the most well thought out builds, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I actually think that if anybody wants to be really, really good, like at least get into Masters, just do yourself a favor, watch ThorZaIN's replays and copy everything that he does, because he has probably the most intelligent, well thought out things. He knows exactly what to do, when to get his upgrades, and everything's put together. So ThorZaIN, I can't wait to see him go up against Slivko. I'm actually going to give ThorZaIN advantage, little tiny advantage, just because you know, we saw him in the NASL. He was the one that came from the open qualifiers to make it into the NASL Grand Finals Season 2.
Yep, he actually beat some pretty good Zergs in the NASL Semi-Open. He took down Crazy Moving, then he beat Gretorp in the finals to get to the NASL finals, and then he had a really nice series against Sen in the third place match, which unfortunately for ThorZaIN, Sen was able to win, but
yeah,
you know, I think ThorZaIN is a player who most, in the foreign community, who most resembles a Korean in that the way he practices and how specific and precise he is in his build orders really mimics kind of how Korean players train. And I think that's why he's been so consistently successful in almost every tournament he's played in.
Oh, look at this BM. Slivko says if you win, it's only because of the map. That's
so Gretorp, what are your
bad manner stuff?
That's some pretty bad manner stuff.
Dude,
so
as long as you set in private channel, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's not BM then, okay?
Yeah, if it's private, it's not bad manner.
Can you please stop trolling?
So, Andre, please tell me about this map. So, Slivko says if you win, it's only because of the map. Do you think that this map is Terran favored?
No.
So, Slivko is wrong.
No, I think it's just his inexperience on this map. Personally, I don't think it is kind of tough sometimes, but there are a lot of counterattacking options. Here's the thing. We take a map like Dual Sight, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Dual Sight seems like a pretty good Terran map in my opinion sometimes, just because Terran's just like 2-base push and then they can deny thirds pretty easily.
Right.
But then you have the counterattacking options that Zerg have, and people say no, it's a Zerg map. If you actually look at Team Liquid, I'm pretty sure I saw it last time, Team Liquid Dual Sight. Dual Sight is actually Terran favorite, it says. And it's kind of interesting in that respect because, you know, it goes against what people actually think. It's a hard, like, type of dynamic in juggling how strong you make the counterattacking options and how strong you make the pushes for each particular race.
Mm-hmm.
I think this map in general has a pretty nice balance with it. It's like decent for pushing and also decent for counterattacking, but it doesn't excel at like counterattacking like I think Dual Sight does.
Now, you know what else is interesting? ThorZaIN getting a really, really fast third command center. And I actually really like that. He's going to get a third orbital really quickly, which is going to basically give him an insane economy going into the mid game. And that's going to lead to a really, really strong push coming up.
Yeah.
It's kind of risky getting that early third so fast, but I think because you can wall off, because the map is pretty long cross position-wise, I think it's a risk that he can afford to take.
Just remember, I mean, it only takes 2 mules to get back all the investment that you had. And
right, exactly.
That's 3 minutes. So right now he needs the 3 minutes at least for this to pay for itself. And in that time you're getting additional SCVs. So we shouldn't see any timings coming out at anywhere, before... Oh gosh, I don't even know. What time did it start? Probably before 10 minutes. But I would expect to push somewhere around, 10 to 13 minutes. That would be a lot more probable, in my opinion. Just have that extra meal working for you. You have your saturation that's been so much higher earlier on. Income tab is showing 37 to 53, so Slivko is still maintaining that Harvester lead. But look at that income. It's just about similar. If anything, Terran is ahead.
Right. And I like the fact that ThorZaIN went for the Reactor Hellions. He's basically denying Slivko any kind of moving out, and the biggest thing I think is that Slivko can't take his third so quickly, and as we saw in his games in the NASL qualifiers last weekend and the weekend before that, he loves taking that early third against Terrans, and ThorZaIN is really doing a great job of denying that. So basically what ThorZaIN is doing, he's kind of making Slivko play his game rather than Slivko being able to dictate the pace of the game himself, and I love that style from ThorZaIN. Well,
not only do the Hellions stop him from pushing out with some sort of like Zergling Baneling force, or even Zergling Baneling Roach to an extent, but it also stops his creep spread. And you can see Slivko is going a Roach Zergling Baneling type of army. Nope, just Roach Zergling, but he gets double upgrades. And creep spread, obviously you need that to stay relevant in the game. So having such delayed creep spread is going to help out ThorZaIN so much more. It actually empowers his pushes so much, and he will be able to do a lot with these siege tanks once they get into position and Zerglings can actually pounce on them in time.
Yeah, totally agree there. I think if I had to find one fault so far with what ThorZaIN is doing, I wish that he had put one Hellion over there by the third of Slivko, because he could have denied that hatchery for at least another minute or so. But aside from that, ThorZaIN is playing absolutely incredibly, and he's going up to 5 barracks now. He's starting his tank production. He still has yet to start siege, and he's floating that third over. So his economy is going to become even more powerful. And again, getting that third up before the Zerg player is just really big.
Yeah. So right now I would say ThorZaIN is in a slight advantage. He does have his third just about the same time as his opponent, but he's had the extra mule to deal with. Right now this should be the third mule at this point, I believe. Yeah, this will be the third mule for this particular orbital command center. So that's when he's actually starting to gain those minerals, starting to gain off of this one command center. Of course, his saturation has been phenomenal. 64 to 63 at this point. This is the one trouble with going Zergling Roach Baneling. You can't really prioritize the drones as much, just because the larva allocation needs to go towards a lot of Zerglings and a lot of Roaches.
Yep.
So it stinks in that factor. If ThorZaIN is able to just throw a wrench in it and keep the engagements going, keep forcing multiple attacks and things like that, whether it be drops, whether it be Hellion harasses like this, whether it be pushes, it's going to stop the drone production of Slivko, and it's indirect damage that is going to be so successful. It's slowing him down, keep him away from that hive tech.
Yep. And I think ThorZaIN is choosing the perfect time to push. The Infestors are just about halfway done, and I think ThorZaIN is going to hit a really nice timing window. His siege mode is just finished. He has a pretty beefy army right now. If you look at the army tab, he's over 1,000 minerals in army ahead of his opponent, which means he's going to be able to set up a very nice position outside the third of Slivko. And wow, 8 Infestors, 9 Infestors coming up from Slivko, so he really needs to hold on until he gets those Infestors out, or else he's going to be in a lot of trouble.
You can see he's spacing out his tanks very, very nicely. He's just slow pushing this. That's all he has to do. He's taking out all the creep. That's going to obviously empower his pushes so much more. He does need to get rid of that one creep tomb over here. But overall, I mean, this is, as we said, the 11 to 13 minute mark is where he actually explodes because he's had this boosted economy. He has the boosted production as well. He's been keeping such low economy this whole time and rallying units over. That's probably one of the most important things. He's rallied units over, made sure that this push is still going to be stable as it goes further and further on, and Slivko has more time to get more units.
Yep, I definitely like the rally there. I think one mistake that a lot of Terran players make is that they have their first push army, but then they have their rally outside their natural or something, so that when the Zerg eventually, because right now Slivko is obviously just stalling for the attack. He's waiting till he gets max to attack.
Here comes the Zerglings are going to push forward. The Infestors don't really have a great place to fungal, so Infested Terrans are going to pop out. They're not really that effective with massed Marines all over the place. They get cleaned up so fast. Upgrades are looking at 1-0 against it looks like 1-1. No, just 1-1 for the Zerglings. And ThorZaIN will clean up very easily. Another Fungal Growth will go off right there, but he has so many tanks left over from this engagement. Overlords are going to be donated through, and that's going to put him in the red. Supply capping very easily. Another round of Zerglings are coming through. Fungal Growth goes off on the big group of Marines, but is it going to be enough? Roaches are directly behind there. There's no big reinforcement fall for ThorZaIN. ThorZaIN is going to finally be hit down, man.
Yeah, that was a very nice hold there. Oh, reinforcements though, and pushing Slivko back even more.
Enough, man.
Yeah, I mean, ThorZaIN is going to retreat because he lost his tank count. I'm pretty sure, but he took a fourth behind this, which is also a great decision. He's going to be very, very solid going into the late stage of the game now. And wow, I think I completely missed there was a drop or a counterattack over at the fourth of Slivko. The hatchery almost got taken out.
It's actually by just a couple of Marines too. Just two.
Wow.
Really quick, I do want to say that ThorZaIN is massively ahead, even though the supplies look very similar. This type of build that Slivko is doing is not good for trading like that. It's meant for just absolutely demolishing your opponent and then going directly into Infestors. Right now, because so many more Roaches had to have been made and his Hive Tech is delayed, he's not going to have those power-hitting Broodlords that he so desperately needs. That's going to give a better advantage for these Marines and Siege Tanks. This composition to just do its magic.
Right. And it looks like this fourth base is going to get taken out, but meanwhile, Slivko is going for an attack. He's going to kill the small army of ThorZaIN in the middle of the map, but wow, he's actually not target firing the hatchery, but okay, there he goes. Finally, he's going to take down that hatchery.
Doesn't really matter at this point. Now denying the fourth base. Slivko is at 3 base. Of course, ThorZaIN is at 4. And ThorZaIN just keeps rallying more and more units. Going the Siege Tank Marine army is awesome. If you can stay on this army composition the whole time, then you're golden. The reason why you normally cannot is because of things like Broodlords.
Right.
That Broodlord Infestor combination is just so powerful. Going just Marine Siege Tank, you're going to get just thrashed every single time. You can see it's just mainly Zergling Infestor. Look how many Infestors has been made too because of that push. Yep. There are 11 Festers right there in that group, and now the third base is under attack. He's going to stim units over directly. Oh, the Infestors, no!
Wow, they're so out of position, and that was a pretty big error by Slivko. And I really wonder at the lack of Banelings from Slivko. I really don't understand why he's not going for Banelings. Well, I mean, go ahead.
Good. The thought process is going Banelings, it does the same purpose as Fungal Growth. I'd rather put 2 Fungal Growths down than put you know, the Banelings in there, because the Banelings don't actually give you any like power to your army, right? Zerglings give you some power, but the Infestors are the ones, oh, I can poop out so many infested Terrans, and then you're in a bad position, you know? The power hitting units might be Roaches, stuff like that. But Banelings, they're always going to trade. You're always in a position where you have to remake the army. You can never like, you don't gain momentum from it, you just stop momentum.
This makes sense, Andre. Thank you, sir.
Look at that, ThorZaIN already has Ghosts in his army.
And an Ultralisk Cavern coming from Slivko and the Spire, so he's really going into the late game tech. And he's took a 4th and a 5th base, are both under production. ThorZaIN is making multiple command centers, so he's going to go for those mass orbitals, which is a really great idea by Terran late game. And meanwhile, ThorZaIN has actually switched over to Ghost production, so he's really already foreseeing what Sleevco is going to do, like what his endgame composition is going to be, and he's already counted it before Sleevco even has it.
You have a little bit of a drop at that fifth base,
yeah.
Fifth base. Just a handful of Marines, but the drones are just
killing a lot of drones, actually. This one Marine has 11 kills on it. One has 7, the other has 7,
yeah,
one has 5.
Man. And just all those units repositioning is going to be enough. Oh my god, these infestors.
Oh wow. This is not going to be
trouble.
good for Sleevco. Lots of Zerglings getting caught out of position. And ThorZaIN is setting up a sick hold. And 2 burrowed infestors actually right under the army of ThorZaIN. Kind of curious.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even see those.
It would be really cool if Zerg could cast fungal growth from underground. Really nice EMPs by ThorZaIN, but a lot of infested Terrans are getting dropped. And this game has shown really great positioning from ThorZaIN, in that you see that Sleevco pretty much hasn't really gotten very many fungals off. You're out.
Spawning pool is going to be sniped right here in the bottom left-hand corner. Oh my god, nice transfuses actually keep this alive. I cannot believe that spawning pool stayed alive, and there it goes.
Wow, that was some...
Back up to 800 hit points.
Wow, that was some really good reaction time there by Sleevco, but it looks like
man.
Oh, wow, nice fungal there by Sleevco.
It's not going to be enough, man. These siege tanks are just way too tanky, and the ghosts... excuse me, but not too tanky. They do way too much damage. And
well, they
again,
are too tanky, actually. And I think Sleevco's his flank with the Zerglings was kind of mistimed, in that after the army at the front of there died, the Zerglings kind of came in at the tail end of that attack, and I think he didn't really get the full force of the attack that he could have. And look at ThorZaIN bringing over 8 SCVs to repair those siege tanks too, to kind of add insult to injury almost.
Well, it has nothing else to do with the 198 supply out of 200. From here, he's just taking. He even took another base in the bottom left-hand corner. He has up to 5 bases at this point. 3 of them are mining. SCVs are just going to be donated right here in the middle of the map.
Yeah, I really think he's just trying to clear up supply. And meanwhile, Sleevco is trying to tech up to Broodlords, because really the only thing he can do right now is tech up to Broodlords. Hope to win a really long war of attrition against ThorZaIN, but it really looks like ThorZaIN's kind of pressing the issue, and Sleevco, GG's.
So that's going to do it, Sleevco. I mean, you can see the weakness of that particular build. A lot of Terran players just say, whoa, Zergling Roach Ghost, or excuse me, Zergling Roach Ghost. That'll be imbalanced. Zergling Roach Infestor, I'm going to back the heck off of that.
Right.
But ThorZaIN, with his build, going to fast 3rd command center, it gives him the ability, and then taking the timing, that 11 to 13 minute time where you go and push, where you know that you've been more, very, very efficient having that 3rd command center. You have increased SCVs. You have that extra mule to be actually dealing with stuff. So you're looking at a good maybe 10, 15 Marines just from that command center alone.
Yeah, it really looks like ThorZaIN actually watched games of Sleevco to find out how his builds and playstyle was, because it really looks like he countered exactly what Sleevco was doing in all the NASTL qualifier games that we saw him do. That kind of 3rd base, really quick 3rd, the skipping Banelings, going straight for Ling, Infestor, Roach, and then that quick transition to Broodlord. ThorZaIN really just denied him. He couldn't even get up to that Broodlord tech throughout the entire game.
Yeah, precisely.
So that was a really great job by ThorZaIN.
And he does that, again, by trading, and then all of a sudden, Sleevco has to make units that are gas intensive.
Right.
Even if it's, infestors that he wants to, or he runs out of infestor energy, he's saying to himself, well, shoot, I need more I need more infestors. Right. I need to be able to fungal. So he gets more infestors that way, and you saw that time and time again, like 2, 3 infestors. And think, every single infestor he gets, that's like, well, it's not quite a Broodlord, but yeah, it's like a Broodlord. No, it is a Broodlord. I'm sorry.
It's really gas intensive.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's really, really gas intensive.
Super, super expensive to get those infestors.
So, overall, very nice play by ThorZaIN, but that's going to do it. So 2-0 for Mouse, a really, really nice start. We're going to go into our 3rd match in a little bit. Remember, everybody, you're watching the NASTL. We will be back after this break.